I worked with over 500 consultants, coaches, and B2B businesses. And there's one thing that separates those who book 2 to 3 sales calls per month from those who book 20 to 30 qualified calls consistently. And it's not their marketing budget, it's not their fancy funnels, and it's definitely not the latest AI tool everyone's talking about. The difference is in their offer. Most service providers think that they have an offer when they really just have a service with a price tag. And that's exactly why your conversion rates are stuck. Your sales calls feel like you're pushing uphill, and prospects keep saying things like, yeah, let me think about it. In this video, I'm going to show you the 7 critical differences between a service and a true offer. And when you apply this framework, you will see your sales calls conversion rates increase by minimum 50% or more guaranteed. So I've used this exact methodology to help my clients go from feast or famine referral-based businesses to predictable client acquisition systems that book 60 plus qualified meetings in 90 days. So if you're ready to transform your positioning and start converting prospects like never before, let's dive in. The difference between services and offers is all about positioning and the perception of value, right? So here I want to speak about the perception of value, and then we will go through the 7 key differences between services and offers. So in client acquisition, an offer is really the way a service is positioned. When you create your offer, you are positioning your service, okay? And the way you position your service influences your market's perception of that service, which influences their confidence in it, okay? So let me give you a very tangible example here about the perception of value. Picture is worth 1,000 words. So what can you see? We can see that in these 2 pictures, we have black t-shirt for men, and one t-shirt is worth 10 euros. The other t-shirt is worth 580 euros, and it has a brand. So that's really the main difference between these 2 t-shirts. But what the main difference really is the way the market is perceiving that t-shirt. Let me give you another example here. You have 2 bags. Woman's black bag in leather. One is worth 20 euros. One is worth 3,900 euros. So the difference is the same. You have a brand and you have the price. And what are people buying here? People are not buying a black bag. People are buying the perception of value of a specific bag, okay? And that perception of value, even though it seems intangible, it is actually very concrete, because when you have a look at the market capitalization of these luxury companies like Hermes or Kering, I mean, they are just impressive. Today is worth 239 billion in market cap in 2025. It's almost the same for Hermes and Kering, about 23 billion. Just as a reminder, 1 billion equals 1,000 million, okay? So what I want to share with you here is that the perception of value, even though it sounds like something that is completely not concrete and intangible, it is worth billions of dollars, depending on the way you will position your offer and your services in the market. So that's why I want to tell you that it's extremely important. So now that we understand that the perception of value is very important for your offers, I will break down the 7 key differences between what is an offer and what is a service. And I will explain you why it's so important. Let's have a look at these key differences. So the first one is services describe what you do, offers promise outcomes. It's very important. If you just say, I do marketing consulting, seriously, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, it can be everything and nothing, right? There's no concrete and tangible outcome. Whereas if you say, I help SaaS company $500,000 in annual recurring revenue in 6 months, this is extremely tangible and very concrete, right? So outcome focused positioning creates instant market desire. I will help you lose 30 kilos. I will help you get a wife or a husband or partner. I will help you increase your monthly revenue by $20,000. Okay, so you see what I mean? So that's extremely important to be very tangible and concrete because it resonates with the market and with your ideal customer. The second one is services are vague, right? Offers have very clear time frames. So we spoke about outcomes, very concrete outcomes, whatever, right? It can be a money or losing weight. But here we also want to frame that into a time frame because the time frame has a lot of importance in the decision making prospects. Okay, so for example, you can say in 6 months, in 48 hours, in 1 day. It gives us sense of timing and of achievement. Okay, I'm at point A for the moment. I want to reach point B, and it will take me 6 months or 48 hours to reach that desired outcome and that goal. Okay, so that's very important. So that's the second key difference between services and offers. The third one is about services list features, whereas offers reveal a methodology. The power of having a named methodology is very important. Why? Because you have your IP, you have your intellectual property, and you have a method. So that's what people lack. They do not have a roadmap, they do not have clarity, they do not know how to go from A to B exactly because they've never done it. You have done that 100 times. So you know exactly all the steps that people have to go through to reach that, that specific goal. So, and your methodology is yours. So it's how methodology creates a perceived expertise and authority is very important. So give it a name. I really like to give names because it makes it very concrete and tangible, and then it showcases your expertise and your knowledge and your experience tangible. Then you have the shared secrets. So it's, I would say, complementary to the methodology, but there's something, people want to know what you know. This is why people are buying your service. It's because you know something that they do not know, and you know how you can help them implement that methodology to reach their goals. So it's your unique way of executing that others, cannot replicate. It's your secret sauce. And that differentiates you and your services and your methodology versus other people who have other similar maybe service. Then the fifth point is really, services hope for trust. You have to provide a safety net. You have to provide a risk reversal psychology because you are selling a high ticket product. That person does not really know you yet, and probably that they will be on the fence. Either they are entirely convinced because they know that they need your service, but in a way or another, you have to provide them with a sort of guarantee, a conditional guarantee, or something that gives them confidence to sign the contract with you and to sign, to move on with you. Okay. So that's also very important. It's a way to protect them and the way they feel and to give them confidence in working with you. So that's also the difference between services and offers. And then services are for everybody. Everyone can buy services, whereas your offers polarizing two different groups of people. So you will exclude some people. You will only work with people who implement your systems. And you will not work with people who want to become millionaires overnight, for instance. You see what I mean? And when you exclude people, then you will attract your ideal client. people always think, oh no, I don't want to, exclude people because I will, have less business. But that's exactly the opposite of exactly what is happening is that you are speaking to a very precise profile and you want to work with these people, and that's a way to differentiate your service. The seventh point is really about the prices. Remember, the price, you give a quote, you give a price. So that's service quote prices. Offers present investments. So when you invest in yourself, you know that the return on investment will be far higher than what you are investing. A price is just something that you are paying one time, it's a one-off payment, and you have no ROI. An investment is a transformation. And this is what people want. They want a transformation. So the way you present your pricing within the offer framework is very important, because we are now back to that perception of value. And remember, pricing is all about the perception of value. Remember that bag or that t-shirt was worth, which 3,900 euros for a bag. That's not the point, actually. The market is not buying a bag. The market is buying the perception of value of that specific bag and that specific brand. And, if people want to work with you, the price to work with you is, and to make things happen for them to go from A to B, that's it. So you have to be very confident about that. So I hope it was helpful for you. Thanks a lot for your attention. And if you would like to know more, please subscribe to my channel, and I will share more information about the foundation and the role of AI in your business.